Hello, my name is Hannah Davidson. I'm a trainee here at SCIC in the European Commission, and my speech is going to be about my experiences of education systems in France and Germany. So I will begin my speech now. I've always been interested in education, and over the past few years, I had the chance to experience school and university systems in both France and Germany. On my year abroad, I worked as an English language assistant in a French primary school. It was to the north of Paris. I was struck by how strict schools seemed to be, even for small children. They often had to copy from the blackboard in silence and learn lots and lots of information off by heart for tests, even at a very young age. I will never forget how one 8-year-old in one of the English classes, he had been instructed to leave 2 lines between the title and the paragraph when he started writing. He'd left just 1, and to me this seemed like a rather trivial mistake. However, he was humiliated in front of the whole class, and his teacher ripped up his work in front of him and said he had to start all over again. I also had the chance to experience French higher education when I signed up for some Japanese classes at a local university. I wasn't expecting a verb test in one of my first lessons, and I did it anyway, and I worked out, overall, I had about 30% of the verbs correct. This is not a good mark by anyone's standards. However, 30% sounds much better than the 0 out of 20 mark I received from the teacher in France. I find that the marking system in France, instead of rewarding everything that you get right, it often deducts points for everything you get wrong, which to me seems rather demotivating. On a positive note, however, I found that the primary English lessons were very different. They were very interactive. In most of the classes, I used flashcards and we played games, and the pupils were encouraged to participate very actively and speak lots of English. They had fun in these lessons, and they seemed to enjoy learning English too, which was great for me. Maybe this teaching style will also be used in other lessons in the future. But now, let's turn to Germany. I completed my undergraduate studies, and I then decided I'd like to take my master's degree in Germany, in the south of Germany. I studied linguistics in Freiburg. In comparison to the French system, I found that the German system was extremely relaxed in most aspects. There was no hurry to finish studying particularly. Students tended to be quite a lot older. The deadlines were quite relaxed. And I only had very loose guidelines about what to study each semester. Other students often thought, I could do that next semester, there's no hurry to do it now. In fact, some of my course mates postponed their thesis for over a year before they got round to writing it. Another thing I found slightly strange, after following a series of lectures throughout the semester, for the final exam, I didn't get any mark. As long as you attend the classes and do enough to pass the exam, you can get the credits. To me, this seems to lead to the mentality that as long as you pass, you don't need to revise that hard because you're either going to pass or fail. So regardless of how good the exam is, as long as you pass, that's enough. A final point about Germany is that the holiday may seem very long between the winter and the summer semester. In fact, you technically have 2 months off between the lectures end and the lectures start for the next semester, from about mid-February to mid-April. However, any German master's student will know that actually most of these holidays will be spent studying. So a typical semester will include 2 master's seminars, 1 lecture, a language class, and probably a research project. During the semester, there isn't really that much to do. As long as you attend the classes and give 1 or 2 presentations for the seminars, that's perfectly fine. As I said before, it's quite relaxed. However, as soon as the semester draws to a close, that's when the work really begins. An average semester workload would be 2 assignments of 25 pages each for the master seminars. An exam, which you probably won't get a mark for. You might have an exam for your language class, but again, you may get a mark, but it won't count towards your degree. And then you'll have to design, find participants for, carry out, and write up your research project. Once you're finished with all that, you'll be lucky to have 1 week's holiday before the next semester starts. Not to mention all the internships, which are a compulsory part of the degree, which are also supposed to take part during the holidays. So despite some of the aspects I'm not so keen on in the French and German systems, I also feel it depends quite a lot on your personality. Although personally, the French system seems quite discouraging to me. It may actually be exactly what another person needs to motivate them to study. Also, the flexibility to postpone modules in Germany may be less stressful than having to retake a whole year, as would be necessary in England, for example. So, in any case, I was really pleased I was able to gain an insight into these 2 different systems, and if you also have the chance, I'd recommend that you do so too. Thank you.